This evening on ENN Tonight.
Immigration enforcement blocked on searching places of worship. See how North Carolina is handling this update.
Separation of church and state is something that we strongly believe in. And this has crossed that line. This has blurred that line.
Teacher training grants were canceled and some future teachers aren't happy.
And a call to prayer for Pope Francis's health.
Those stories and more,
ENN Tonight
starts now. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for ENN Tonight. I'm Abigail Hines.
And I'm Abby Gravely.
Starting off tonight, the Anti-Defamation League released their annual campus anti-Semitism report card for 2024 to 2025. Elon University is one of 5 schools to receive a perfect A on their report card. Appalachian State University received a C, Duke University received a B, North Carolina State University and University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill both received a C as well, and finally Wake Forest University also scored a B. Elon is the only school in North Carolina to receive an A. The criteria includes publicly disclosed administrative action, Jewish life on campus, and the campus conduct and climate concerns. In the ADL's full report, Elon exceeded most expectations.
A federal district judge has ruled against allowing immigration enforcement to enter places of worship, but only for those involved in a federal lawsuit. Let's take a look.
God is there with us. Mountaintop experiences prepare us for the valleys.
At First Baptist Church of Elon, Senior Pastor David Durham feels called to reach out and minister to everyone of all identities.
When I look out on our congregation on Sunday mornings, or whenever we gather in our sanctuary, they gather with knowing the freedom that they have of worshiping. That's a First Amendment.
First Baptist is just one of over 1,400 congregations included in the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship. Cooperative Baptists are one of 3 religious groups that joined together in a lawsuit against immigration enforcement in places of worship. The Trump administration released an executive order earlier this year that removed protections from sensitive locations, such as churches and schools.
The separation of church and state is something that we strongly believe in. And this has crossed that line. This has blurred that line.
The fellowship joined the lawsuit due to its belief in welcoming all individuals to worship, regardless of background. And while Durham hasn't seen the issue firsthand, other congregations across the nation are struggling with low turnout, an issue cited by District Court Judge Theodore Schwong, who stated in his court decision, quote, "The 2025 policy effectively compels plaintiffs to engage in worship with a smaller congregation and with fewer immigrants, even though their beliefs call for worship with as large and diverse a community as possible."
It's a sad situation where the church has always been an institution in culture to be able to reach out and to help, and we're being limited by this decision.
Abby Gravely, ENN Tonight.
Durham stresses that this issue is religious rather than political, and he expects more cases like this one to emerge in the coming weeks.
As Pope Francis enters his 3rd week in the hospital, as of today, he is back on a ventilator and suffering a huge setback on his health condition. Pope Francis was diagnosed with bilateral pneumonia, meaning it's in both of his lungs. It was last reported that the Pope is in stable condition, and the Vatican released a statement regarding his health, saying that the Holy Father remains alert and oriented. He received the Eucharist on Saturday afternoon, then devoted himself to prayer. Elon's Associate Chaplain for Catholic Life, Father Peter Tremblay, said that he is concerned for the Pope's health and encourages others to keep the Pope in mind when they pray.
As long as Pope Francis has been sick, praying for him out loud and asking our students and community members to keep him in their prayers is something that we've done at our masses and some of our events, and even some of the small groups that we have with students. We've been encouraging people to think about him and keep him in their prayers.
Tremblay said that Pope Francis's agenda is partly sustaining him from resigning just yet.
The Trump administration has canceled tens of millions of dollars in federal grants for North Carolina teacher training and retention. 8 schools across the state will not receive the millions of dollars they were initially expecting. The reason behind these cuts? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. DEI-based grants were stopped following Trump's federal DEI rollback. Many of these programs were run by local school systems to pay teachers and provide them with additional training. Elon education major Kia Campagna says that the cut of these grants is disheartening.
It is honestly gut-wrenching in my mind. It makes me so upset and so frustrated that this is happening right now. Especially like politics aside, when you look into it, it's the future of America is children, and we need to do what's best for them.
So far, Elon has not seen any of these cutbacks regarding teacher grants.
Elon University's nursing program will be accredited by the National League for Nursing Commission for Nursing Education Accreditation. The nursing school was granted that initial accreditation to both programs it offers through the University School of Health Sciences. Schools that achieve accreditation follow student-centered learning environments that facilitate professional development. And for students in the nursing program, this accreditation gives a better opportunity for future careers.
There's a criteria that each nursing program seeking accreditation has to kind of meet. And so we've just been making sure that all of the steps that we're following kind of align themselves with what the accreditation is looking for. So we've had to adjust here and there, but we finally made it to a point where we were able to get the accreditation, which is awesome.
Elon's Department of Nursing currently has 207 enrolled students, with 90% of them being female.
We're about halfway through flu season, and here in North Carolina, we're seeing more flu-related deaths compared to this time last year. As of this week, the state of North Carolina is reporting 311 flu-related deaths, with 2 of them being pediatric and over 229, or 75% of them, occurring in the 65 and older population. The number is up slightly from this point last year, when 291 deaths were reported through the end of February. Flu season typically runs through May, and the CDC recommends individuals get vaccinated every year and keep up with hand washing and other methods to prevent the spread of germs.
Amber alerts were issued twice this week regarding 2 missing girls from the central North Carolina area. The first was issued by Harnett County Police on Wednesday, the 26th, regarding 15-year-old Azalea Streifler. The next alert came the following day regarding another 15-year-old girl, Gady Hernandez Fernandez, from Siler City. The 2 Amber alerts have since been canceled, and both girls have been returned to their homes safely. Although officials say the cases were not related, the 2 momentary alerts draw questions about the functions and limitations surrounding Amber alerts. In a conversation with ENN, Wilkesboro Police Chief Jason Delbert explained that a police department can issue an Amber alert if they believe a minor is in immediate or potential danger from an abduction and need the assistance of the public to locate them.
I think they help. It gets people looking now, plus they flash them on the road signs on the highways. If they have vehicle information, I think they're very helpful.
Although Delbert's department has not issued an alert in many years, he believes Amber alerts serve as a good tool for law enforcement.
After the break, an update on Burlington's new pickleball courts.
And the new Healthy U building is bringing in some heavy equipment. See more up next.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
there's only one thing that will save somebody's life, and that is naloxone nasal spray. Get 911 on the phone, get the emergency responses there on their way.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
A place where community members now play tennis will soon become home to a new sport, pickleball. ENN's Angelina Fantaroni is live from Burlington City Park to give us updates on the delays within the construction process. Hey Angelina, are the courts completed yet?
Yeah, Abby, these courts are indeed still under construction here at the Burlington City Park and at Fairchild Park. But there's been a 5-month delay within this process. Some local pickleball players are eager to hear the opening date, which has not yet been announced. I had the chance to talk to the founder of the Facebook group titled Pickleball Players Burlington, North Carolina, Chad Coble, and he said that a lot of his feed has actually been about people posting when they are going to play next and when these courts will be opening. Some factors of this delayed progress have been weather patterns, infrastructure challenges, and most surprisingly, light posts. Some of these light posts seen behind me needed speakers, Wi-Fi, and to be stabilized. I had the chance to speak with the city of Burlington to get to the bottom of these delays and even a talent brought onto this project. Now, let's see what they have in store for us.
The Burlington Recreation and Park's 2 new pickleball complexes, located at City Park and Fairchild Park, were originally expected to open in fall of 2024.
You can't be upset because you're going to have something good eventually, but it's quite painful. It makes you wonder if there were some steps that could have been done to set bonuses or things like that to make it work.
But with infrastructure challenges and inconsistent weather patterns, it's been postponed to a 5-month delay in the process.
It ended up making this area like one large pond, so it retained the water longer than it should have, so it took us longer for it to dry out and then longer for us to be able to pack it and do what we needed to do.
Among the construction delays, the courts will feature a soundproof barrier to prevent noise from disrupting residents of Willow Creek Apartments, only a few hundred feet away.
Some have likened the sound of a pickleball to the backup signal on a truck. You know, it kind of gets your attention. So with neighbors this close, we wanted to do everything we possibly could.
The courts at City Park don't only showcase 17 new courts, but a local talent brought to the project, Artie Barksdale III, who is in the process of painting a pickleball mural on a practice wall.
It's all about Burlington to enhance the aesthetics, the color choice of Burlington's pickleball and the colors blue, green, turquoise. It's more about aesthetics for me.
Burlington Recreation and Parks say they are taking the process one step at a time to find the best solution to create the best courts they can. Angelina Fantaroni, ENN Tonight.
We're starting to see some construction on the new Health EU building. Bulldozers and other equipment will start to be popping up in the area next to East Neighborhood. Breaking ground for this big project is costing the lives of some trees. After checking in with the town of Elon and other state requirements, Director of Planning Design David Hott says that despite the cut of these trees, some will be saved and protected.
And phasing of taking down the trees, certain trees will be saved according to tree preservation requirements that we've already reviewed with the town of Elon and gotten approval for. So it will not be a full clear cutting of all the trees, but you'll see selected trees that will be removed to make way for new utilities.
Hott says that in the next few weeks, more groundwork will be expected in preparation for the new building.
Elon women's basketball beat conference leader NC A&T University in a last-second comeback. With under 2 minutes remaining, A&T led by 8 points. Sophomore Raven Preston went on a 7-0 personal scoring run, giving Elon a chance. Preston would end the game with 31 points, tying her personal career high. Elon pulled ahead to win 70-69. This is Elon's first victory in over 2 weeks, coming at a pivotal time with only 9 days left before the CAA tournament. Elon will next play at Northeastern University on March 6th for its second-to-last game of the regular season.
And after the break, I'll have your Phoenix 5-day forecast.
And coming up, an annual tradition for a good cause.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Even more than I wanted a gold medal, I wanted a heart of gold, like the mentors who were my balance beams refusing to let me down, and the coaches who spoke out to anything out of bounds, heroes who never stood on podiums, but stood up for me. Every shot I made, give the assist to those who since my youth were referees, ready to blow the whistle and end abuse.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Kudos, Carl. You've always had a need for speed. Racing anything with wheels, speed reading novels in record time, yelling out 3, 2, 1 at every traffic light. But this time, you've taken your power obsession to the next level. By purchasing this electric vehicle, you've given yourself instant torque that blows your old launch times away, which will keep you saying, "Woo-wee" every time you punch the pedal. Good for your adrenaline, great for the planet. That's the power of EV.
And joining us now is our Mackenzie Cruz to give us an update on what the weather will be this week. We had a warm weekend. What should we be expecting in the coming days, Mackenzie?
You're right, it has been warm and sunny, and we're looking at a warm and windy week up ahead. Now for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Tonight we'll have a low of 32 and clear skies. Tomorrow will be partly sunny with a high of 62 and rain starting overnight. That rain will continue into Wednesday and bring high winds and thunderstorms with a high of 70. More wind on Thursday with partly cloudy skies and a high of 54 and a low of 29. A bit warmer on Friday with a high of 60 and some sun. Finally, Saturday will be mostly cloudy with a breeze and a high of 67. Going back to Wednesday's forecast, we're looking at severe storms. This storm system is brewing today and tomorrow out west with very high winds, mixed precipitation, and clashing hot and cold fronts. There's also a risk for tornadoes, which has a higher chance further west of us, but we'll have a better estimate the closer we get. The thunderstorms will really hit us by Wednesday morning. This is Wednesday's current forecast map, and these yellow lines right here mean severe thunderstorms over our area. The whole East Coast will be seeing high wind, rain, and lightning with possible flash flooding and hail for some areas. This also comes with the risk of power outages. We'll keep an eye on how the storm progresses, and that's all. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that update, Mackenzie. We'll keep an eye on those storms. Elon's student government elections are right around the corner with key events leading up to Election Day. The Executive Candidate Forum will take place on March 5th at 5 p.m. at Oak House, giving students the opportunity to hear from those running for leadership positions. Voting begins on March 10th at 8 a.m. and will remain open until March 11th at 5 p.m. Election results will be announced later on that evening, March 11th at 6:30 p.m. on Medallion Plaza.
Over 700 participants attended this year's Relay for Life event, all to raise money for the American Cancer Society. I spoke with attendees on what this event means to them. Let's take a look. From 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., students walk or run laps around the gym. Listen to guest speakers.
Cancer does not define me. It is part of my story, yes, but it is not the whole story.
And honor those who have died from cancer. Elon's Relay for Life president, Ellie Nash, says that cancer can impact anyone.
We all have been touched in some way or another by this disease, and I think this event will just leave you with hope.
Freshman Ashley Metzger relayed for her grandmother, who died from breast cancer several years ago, and says events like these are important to so many people.
It matters to come to this stuff because you know that so many people are connected by this disease.
Nash says she was most looking forward to the end of the night where they revealed the total amount of money raised.
We're all tired. We're all like, okay, like this is the last hour. I'm just looking forward to coming together like with my exec committee and seeing like, wow, we did that.
With over $54,000 raised, Relay for Life surpassed last year's total by over $8,000. Abigail, Hines, ENN Tonight.
This Thursday, Elon University will host their 12th annual Elon Day. Since the beginning in 2012, Elon Day has received over 50,000 financial gifts, totaling more than $20 million, and supporting 54 student scholarships, programs, and various campus initiatives. The current leaderboard for most gifts given to a program include at number 5, Elon Hillel with 25 gifts, number 4, Martha and Spencer Love School of Business with 32, the School of Communications with 35, Elon's Greatest Needs with 46 gifts, and finally, number 1 on the leaderboard is Elon College, the College of Arts and Sciences, with 55 gifts.
Simply Oak, an Elon alum-owned boutique, is closing after 8 years in downtown Elon. Opening its doors in 2017, Simply Boutique started as just an idea for 2013 alum Melissa Troutman during her last semester of grad school. Now, just 8 years later, the boutique will come to a close after rent has almost doubled. Simply Oak is the only downtown business isn't the only downtown business facing this rent increase. Places like The Root, Subway, and All That Jazz are seeing this issue as they're all under the same owner. Simply Oak will stay in its space until the last day of March.
Stick around to see how this year's Carnival celebration played out.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
In 4 days. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children. She didn't know what to do.
Did you have a good day at school?
She gave them some broth without any bread.
There you go.
And kissed them all soundly.
Night night.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Women are bad with money. That's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now, we've got something to say.
Save it. It's time to save ourselves by saving our money.
until we're no longer 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
Save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault.
Then, the funds. Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
Elon Center for Race, Ethnicity, and Diversity Education partnered with El Centro for a multicultural event. Our Rachel Hawley has the story.
Music, dancing, and food bring the blending of African, Indigenous, and Latinx cultures together in celebration of Carnival. Student coordinator of the Creed says that this event aims to include multiple cultures.
But there's been a nice and positive transition from Latin to Latin and Caribbean culture over Carnival.
The Creed has a mission to represent minority cultures at Elon.
When students see themselves and their experience in programming here at Elon, they enjoy the event, the program, that much more.
Harrison says that going to events like Carnival helps teach students about different cultures.
I think when you learn about other people's cultures, whether it be uncomfortable or not, or you're curious, or you're feeling forced, learning about other people makes you a more well-rounded person.
As Black History Month comes to an end, Harrison says that learning about history is vital.
Black history is everybody's history. Latinx history is all of our history. All history is all of our history.
Rachel Hawley, ENN Tonight.
The Creed will be hosting a writing workshop this Wednesday from 4:30 to 6 in Mosley 221.
Starbucks has announced significant corporate restructuring efforts aimed at improving operations and enhancing efficiency. The company is set to lay off over 1,000 corporate employees, accounting for about 7% of its non-store workforce. This move is part of CEO Brian Nichols' Back to Starbucks plan, designed to simplify the company's structure and create more support teams. These layoffs will not affect baristas or employees involved in roasting, manufacturing, distribution, and warehousing. Starbucks will begin removing 13 of their less popular beverages from their menu starting on March 4th. This initiative aims to reduce wait times and improve quality.
The town of Elon hosted a showing of historic photos from places around Elon, like Elon University. People were encouraged to stop by and write down anything they knew about each photo's backstory. The photos were enlarged in order for people to see the photos clearly, and artificial intelligence was used to enhance physical features on those in the photographs. Jill Weston, the Downtown Development Director for the town of Elon, said the photos went through a very thorough process until finally ending up back in North Carolina.
I'm really excited. I think it really honors Elon, the whole town of Elon, and the community, and hopefully somebody will know somebody in some of these pictures.
Weston said these photos are going to stay up permanently in the Town Hall Annex.
As Black History Month comes to a close, the Center for Race, Ethnicity, and Diversity Education hosted a Black Solidarity Conference in McKinnon Hall, kicking off with a keynote speaker and featuring different breakout sessions. Sophomore Adriana Stapleton volunteered for her second time for this conference and says that her love for the event is the reason she wanted to volunteer again. The theme for this year's conference was This is How We Do It, which focuses on legacy, influence, and innovation. Well, that's all the news we have for you this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Head over to our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, for stories, sports, and more.
And make sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
And don't forget to check out ENN Radio on Spotify.
Have a great night, Elon.